What's going on YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at $6,837. We're down 0.01%. There's just a few things I want to show you on the bullish side, what's taking place for Bitcoin, and also what's taking place on the bearish side. And overall, what we need to pay attention to is that in the macro sense, we're still in a downtrend. Until we break out from this red overhead resistance trend line, guys, we are still in a downtrend. As you see, lower highs have still been coming in, so that's definitely an area that we're going to need to break up through. And what we're also seeing is rejection at this 0.618. So typically when you're in an uptrend and you see that retracement, you'll get a bounce off the 0.618, that golden area, and it's kind of the reverse here in downtrends. So what we did, we went from our high to our low, and you can see the reaction that we've had, or this intermediate term uptrend. We have gotten up to the 0.618, but we couldn't hold that. We traded up above it for about 3 days, and then we actually gave it back up, and we tested that 0.5 again and found support there, and then we came back up, tried it again. So the fact that the 0.618 and this red downtrend line are acting as overhead resistance for us, that is significant. And we've also basically double topped up here. We got up to around $7,500 and we had rejection. We came back down to about, we call it $6,400, and we came back up again here and we got to $7,300, but we couldn't get over 75. So what I would factor in terms of the bearish side here, we have the red overall macro downtrend upon us. We're having trouble getting above that 0.618, which is typically a rejection point. And the fact that we're dealing with rejection at the $7,500 overhead resistance. Those are three things that are giving me some concern right now. Now, in terms of the bullish sense, we are in the short term putting in a higher low on the 4-hour time frame that we're dealing with here. And that's why I have this short little red trend line here. I'm paying attention to that because that's also going to line up right around the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame at 6,727. I think that's an area that we're going to need to hold as well. But it's just kind of one of those sticky spots for us. We're kind of getting in an equilibrium pattern. If the bulls step in and we can get a true trend line break and it's on volume, guys, that could take us up to around, we'll call it $9,200, $9,300 very easily. A trend line break even could take us all the way back to the top of 10,500 if it's accompanied with a lot of volume. That definitely could happen. So I am not counting out the bulls in this area either. But for me, this is a time to sit back and be patient in the market. I feel like this is not a time to go long. It's not a time to go short. It's time to sit back, plan your trade if you are going to be going long here, and really wait for that nice trend line break from this red overhead resistance trend line that we've been dealing with. Trend line breaks were one of the most significant things in technical analysis, and this started back in February. So the fact that we've been in an overall downtrend for that long, I think would be significant if we had a break to the upside on heavy volume there, and that's something I'm going to be looking at. But it's tough overhead resistance that we're dealing with right now. So that's Bitcoin on the 4-hour. And now what I want to do is just zoom in a little bit tighter here, just so you could see this area as well, this 6,749 that I want to hold as support, that we've hit many times. It's been a spot we've bounced around, and I think this is a spot we need to hold, and then it'd be down around where we put in this hammer candle on the 4-hour time frame at $6,616 is a spot I'm going to look, and we just slowly work our way down, 6,485. Then we could even go down to 6,205. And what you also see on the volatility stop, how we've been having these lower highs right here in the shorter term, that volatility stop is also turned red on us right here. So we're just paying attention to that, and it's something that I like to do because it'll help align you with the trend. So if we go out to the 1 day here, you can see our volatility stop down here is at 6,465. So that's showing that we are still in an uptrend right here, and we are in an intermediate term uptrend, but overall we're in that downtrend. So that's definitely an area we're going to need to get up above, and we're also going to need to have candle closes up above the 50 moving average as well, so we can get up above that red trend line. And then we'd have to deal with this 200 moving average, which is going to be around $8,000, which could be a target as well if we get out of this trend line. We'll have to see what we do with that 200 moving average, if it's going to act as strong overhead resistance or if we're just going to blow right through it and start hitting higher numbers. So that's to the upside there, guys. But downside, you know, even that 5,800 where we put in this bullish engulfing candle, that's an area that could be targeted if we have a true break through this support. So this is just an area for me I would be very careful. You can see the volume has been tailing off here. If we are to have an upside break, we want a big swell of volume. Sticks like this, even a stick like this, coming in, breaking through there with a big, strong, even Marabazoo candle, something along those lines. That would be beautiful, and that's the time when you'd most likely want to get in then. But right now it's just a sticky spot. And so if you are long here, the volatility stop that I have is at 6,485 is what it's showing, right in that range there. So that would be something, you know, just to factor in, because I think it's really important in this space to use stop losses. If you don't use stop losses, guys, you can get wrecked and you can see half your account, just like we saw over here. In a one-day candle, Bitcoin went from $8,000 all the way down to 4,625. That was in one day. Think about that. You take one day off from the charts, not looking at Bitcoin, and half of it's gone that fast in a one-day candle. So we always have to be prepared for anything. That candle could happen to the upside in a trend line break, and it could happen very fast. So that's why we just have to be aware of what's going on. And this candle today is looking pretty tight. We still have a lot more time until we end up closing this candle, but I want to see what we do with that 6,749. And then if we go to trading view, just to give you a little look at this here, if my trading view will cooperate. Guys, you know what? It's not working today. I don't know what's going on there. But I was just going to show you, we're going to look at some moving average and some different oscillators in there. But guys, I'll end it here. I'm doing a project around the house today that I got to get done. So I was just going to make this shorter, and I wasn't going to do any other coins because everything's basically going to be based off Bitcoin right now. Most likely if Bitcoin, you know, breaks hard to the upside, it's going to carry the market with it, and vice versa. If Bitcoin dumps, then, you know, it's probably what's going to happen. And also pay attention to the Dow Jones with how much we've been correlating and everything like that. It's down about 600 points today, so that's something that we do want to keep an eye on. Ethereum's at $170, Litecoin at $40.59, XRP 18 cents. So these are just the coins I like to look at. Zcash $42, and I like Zcash, guys, just personally. Bitcoin Cash $220 we're looking at there. Neo $726. These are just some of the other stocks and things that I like to look at as well. So guys, if you get some from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me today. Leave me a thumbs up for the algorithm, or just an exclamation point, anything that always helps, and try to get back to you the best that I can. But in my opinion, I think this is a time just to be patient and not FOMO into anything, and really watch the market and see what we end up doing here. If we can get a nice strong trend line break above that red trend line, that would be something special on volume, and we'll have to see if that happens. And if we have a downside dump, guys, you know what can happen in one day. We've seen it over here before, so we really have to be careful. So let me know if you get some from this. Guys, I appreciate you being here with me today. God bless.